Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Classic Elite Reviews. My name is Tony from the ClassicElite.com podcast. Today I'm reviewing the brand new iPhone release, Battlefield Bad Company 2. It is a game brought to us by EA and DICE, and it's a monster console shooter for EA that they've decided to bring to the iPhone. They did it for the amazing bargain price of 99 cents, which is very cheap compared to other iOS shooters. This game has roughly a 5-hour single-player campaign and a 4-player local and online multiplayer. But at a discount price and this late in the game, can it compete with the rapidly growing shooter market on the iOS platform? The first thing I want to start out with is the strongest suit of this game, and that's what I believe to be the controls. This game offers in the options 3 types of controls, but I think the very first type that you can play with nails the iOS shooter controls, and I think every other iOS shooter should follow suit. It basically eliminates the virtual stick and just allows you to move freely on the screen wherever your thumbs are. And one of the issues I've had with some of the other iOS shooters is like if my finger slides off of the virtual joystick, then I fail to be able to move in the game and I have to reset my thumb. This game is nice because it doesn't do that. It strategically places the crosshairs in the bottom left and the crouch button in the bottom right and the reload at the top, and then you can move your thumbs anywhere else on the screen you want to move around, which is very nice, especially with the touchscreen controls. So I think the controls are the strongest suit of this game. As far as graphics go, I think the graphics of this game are subpar to what I've seen on the iOS device. I think it's even when it's minimized. I'm playing this on the iPad, which it's compatible with, but even when it's minimized to the iPhone version on the Retina display, it still doesn't look very good. I think the graphics could have been a little bit better for this game, and it may have been because they squeezed so much into a pretty long single-player campaign that they had to sacrifice some things graphically. As far as the single player goes, this game has great length for a portable, as I mentioned, 5 hours roughly, and it mixes it up nicely with vehicles, weapons, and different scenarios. As far as multiplayer goes, and you'll see me messing around with multiplayer a little bit right now, I was pretty disappointed. 2 years ago, the multiplayer mode on this game would have been innovative. Now it feels kind of left behind and outdated. I have a very fast internet connection. I tried it several different times during the day. It was very clunky, very hard to get a game, and not very well organized. On top of that, it only offers deathmatch and team deathmatch and 4-player local and online modes. That's kind of behind the times with where the iOS devices are now and some of the best shooters on this platform. So as far as multiplayer goes, I think it could have used better. Another thing is there's no Game Center support, which I think is kind of necessary for brand new iOS shooters that are trying to compete. I understand different companies like EA and Gameloft are trying to create their own ranking systems, their own friends list, and their own achievements, but I don't want 5 or 6 different accounts. I want one account across all platforms. That's why I really like Game Center. As far as my overall experience with multiplayer, it was really hard to get into the game and it was kind of clunky. If you're a fan of the console version of this game or you want an above average shooter at a discount price, I definitely say pick this one up. If you're looking for a more cutting edge shooter with slightly better graphics and more multiplayer options, I think there's some better selections out there. Overall, this is a pretty decent game. Definitely not at the top of the pack, but definitely not at the bottom either. So it might be worth checking out.